Hey, Isabella. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. You guys can visit with her later. Okay, so WD-40, I just want to remind you and encourage you as we talk about year of the listing here, we continue this, we'll review just a couple things real quick and then we'll jump into some new parts of that. There's some great benefits to being a listing agent. Again, we hear it all the time. Oh, there's low inventory. It's low inventory. It's not no inventory. So we've got to take out of our vocabulary that idea that because it's low, there's no. We have to make the inventory. People are out there. People want to sell. Naomi and Emil are finding people that want to sell. Carla just found somebody who wants to sell. They're out there. We just need to be having those conversations with people and keeping in front of people and keeping people aware of what's going on in the market.
Like the one I mentioned here, they will rent if they can find a rental.
They will sell. They'll sell if they will find a rental.
They will sell if they can find a rental.
Right.
And you never know. I mean, because I do the solar commercial, I got a call yesterday from a guy, had no idea who he was. And he wants to do a monstrous system out of Windmill Cove in Bethel Island. And so I said, well, how did you get my name? Oh, and I happened to ask Del Chiaro at the Brentwood Mobile Home Park if he would be interested in the system. He said no, but he happens to be a friend of this guy who happened to call him. He said, oh, ask Emil, he can tell you.
Right.
So it's a monstrous sale. I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar sale. And you just never know what door they're going to come from by contacting somebody you know, who then refers you. So anyway, I know you do that, but I wanted to get
that's 100% right, Carla.
And everybody you meet, tell them what you do.
Yep.
Everybody you meet. If you're standing in line at the grocery store, and they say something to you, I just say, hi, I'm Carla, and I'm a realtor at Weichert. Well, what's Weichert? Oh, it's one of the biggest. Yeah, that's what I do.
and my pitch doesn't work for some reason. They say, well, what do you do? I say, I herd cats. I mean, I'm a broker for real estate. No, trust me, I don't. Again, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. 50% of boomers plan to move from their home they currently own. 25% say they'd likely buy a second home, such as a vacation, beach, or house, or to use during retirement. So 50% of boomers plan to move from the home they're in. And if I could convince my wife to sell, and
you would be, where are you going?
Oh, I would rent something. I'd just bank the money and invest it. And yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat, but she loves her home, and it's just not the right time with stuff going on with our parents right now too. So, oops, went the wrong way. There we go. 23% of the homeowners are considering selling their home, but haven't put it up for sale. Of the 23% that are contemplating selling, 55%, catch that number, over half, be more than likely to put their homes on the market if given more information about the process by a trusted advisor. So you need that trusted advisor.
Yeah, a lot of times I've said, it doesn't cost any money to go fishing.
Right.
You can, if you don't want to sell it at the price that comes in, don't sell it.
Right.
And that will initiate a conversation of somebody, well, I don't know if it's a good time or this. Go
right.
fishing. Yep.
See, we're at that spot right now where people are seeing what's going on with the market with things and jumping, and they're waiting. They're trying to time the market. But last time I saw people trying to time the market, they lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
yeah, and then buyers keep waiting for it to crash, and I keep telling them
They do.
it doesn't matter if it crashes or not if you need
Yeah.
a loan, because if it crashes, you're going to be such a high interest rate.
Yeah.
What is wrong?
Well, the other thing is,
They don't know.
what I tell people is if you're thinking of moving someplace and living there 3 years or less, then don't buy.
Yeah.
But if you're there long term,
Right.
it's a great time to buy.
Well,
Yep.
and you can even, I had an economist talk to me this weekend, and he said this next downturn, he believes, will be that the dollar will be valuable, that things are going to stay. I mean, what will happen if a loaf of bread costs you $10, guess what? Your house is going to cost maybe $1.5 million, but the money isn't worth the $1.5 million.
Correct. Yep.
And so you need to look at that. It isn't that it's going to go down in value, the dollar is going to go down in value. So if if you have equity, that equity's won't be as valuable as it is right now.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And we all feel better. Thanks, Emil. Okay. Our goal is to find that 23% turn into 55%. And then this is where we finished off last time, do the hustle. And I've printed some of those up if you guys want to look at those. 14 emails automated, and my Weichert to go out every 3 to 4 weeks, 12 monthly newsletter mailers, 4 quarterly newsletters by mail. So there's kind of a plan of getting word out there and talking to people and being involved. So, you know, we want to know how to do it. It's a numbers game, getting out there and doing that and seeing people. So here we go. Somebody said, or is that just Izzy? Okay. So the good thing is that, and again, realize that these are kind of nationwide stats, but listings almost guarantees 2 buyer sales. Now, my one in Hayward probably could have brought me a couple of buyers to work with. My problem was I just had too much going on, and I did not deal with those people as well as I should have, and lost those opportunities. So that's why I'm kind of teaming up with somebody. So as I have these, then I can start passing those buyer people on to them and let them work those, because I don't do that as effectively as I should. So, but you can do that. You can get out there and, you know, listings produce buyers. And once we can start doing open houses, I really miss that, because I finally was able, with my iPad and that, people signing in and checking in, and I've still got people from Fremont who are still looking at my website doing stuff. It's a very effective way of doing that. It just makes it difficult when you can't be face to face, and you know, so homes still sell ridiculous prices, but could you imagine an open house in today's climate right now? You'd have to do. So once they open up open houses again, I'm going to say have a couple of people there, because you're going to have tons of people come through the houses.
Yeah.
So,
The last listing that I did, I actually put a little table out front and some sanitizer in my mouse and stuff. And then when people would call, because I hate that list thing that we have now, I just told them, okay, well, we have from here to here. Let me know approximately when you're coming. You know, and turn it on. There was so many people. I think in one day we probably had at least 40.
Yep.
I know, I could do a P.
They still sent P's. Because they still made a phone call and talk to you about it. So I still made them send the P's, but it was like crazy.
Yeah.
Couldn't fit 'em.
Yeah.
You guys had one day, it was renters. You know, it was renters in the house, so I couldn't do it any other way. They're like, we'll give you one day, that's it. And she does take care. So she could
Yeah.
have people come in and out, and I was like.
It's letting people know that there's a pandemic going on, in case they were living under a rock and didn't know there was a pandemic going on. So it needs to go away, because it's just a.
Is it ever gonna, I wonder if it's ever gonna be like, oh, this one had the COVID and he sent the form anyway. What are you gonna do about it? Like.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Well, get the people in case
I have a
they-
question about open houses and stuff and showing.
Okay, Linda, go ahead. Shh.
So my question is, so with showings, they're like 15 minutes apart, and there's really like no limit, and people are being disrespectful to properties and the listings and sellers and all that. So why is that better than having an open house where the listing agent can be there and actually show the property? Because when you have an open house, people come to view the home with their agents in the first place anyway. So why can't we have that? Why can't we have that going on?
For the same reason you can't go to the grocery store when other people are there. Oh, wait, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go to a restaurant.
Well, you can. We went on Sunday night. Yeah.
Not indoor.
Okay, so we went to Sweeney's on Sunday night,
Patio.
the patio, which is all enclosed. So it's silliness. So,
So I don't understand, like if I wanted to have just for example, if I wanted to have an open house, right? I could literally be outside with a little table and have PED forms ready for people to sign and only allow one group of people at a time. So like if me and another agent wanted to team up, me and that other agent could one person can tour them through the house and the other could be outside making sure people are waiting their turn and signing PED forms. So if that is the case, why can't we do that?
Because
difference?
we have to show that we're, it's,
Protecting the seller.
yeah, it's, well, it's
Actually
it's
more,
just,
It's
it's just none of the rules are consistent or make any sense. I don't have to sign a form to go to the grocery store. So yeah, it's just,
Take it up a notch.
Why can't you sign it?
well, I just don't,
Yeah.
I have a listing coming up and she has a compromised immune system. And I've also showing properties to buyers where people are not respecting their appointment time and you have 6 buyers going in with 1 agent.
Right.
First of all, I had to tell them to find a sitter for their kids, and they could have brought their kids because this whole family is coming out of the house. Like, how does that make any sense? And why are people not being held accountable? And how is the listing agent going to protect their sellers?
Hey, Linda,
Wow.
I wonder if you could call Car Legal and bring up that scenario and say, this is per your seller's request. Can I do this? And
One
just
day.
see what they say, and maybe this will start a trend of phasing out of it.
I know I'm not a genius. I'm sure I'm not the only person that has thought of that. Like,
No, I know, but do you think anyone's like ever called to like get permission? Like ask if you can set up your table with another person and do exactly what you said and see what they say. Because that's what your seller wants you to do.
yeah. And then, so with the listings, how are we supposed to be able to protect our clients, our sellers, from these agents who are disrespectful? Hey, I'm talking.
That's kind of what I did. I mean, I sat outside and they shouldn't
so here's kind of my thought on that. I think that the 1 agent with 2 people is a very arbitrary rule and there's no logic behind it. I don't want to bar people who have children, especially the house that you've got there. They have children. To find a babysitter to go look at houses, they want to take their kids. The kids want to see the houses. I personally say, if you want to let, if you can have kids with you, that's fine. That's part of the family. So, none of it is consistent and makes sense. And so, I've had it where I've showed up to a show and I've had people that had 4 people in the house. That's fine. I mean, it's not,
He's not following the rules.
it's not any different than people going to a grocery store and that. And we try to make it that, there's no consistency from, schools to real estate to grocery stores to restaurants. The rules are different for each of those things,
But
which
you have to follow the rules. Don't tell them they can't
Yeah,
do, they can do that.
You have to disclose that you are violating a law that is vague. And the legislation,
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, we deal with it I'm on a school board, so that's why.
yeah.
And we are liable and our insurance will not cover us if somebody sues us for having them go back to school. It's not an excuse, it's just a reality that it's there. If you as an agent let more go in and you get sued, you have broken the law.
Right.
Now, whether it'll stick or not, I'm not gonna say,
Right.
but you are violating a very vague law.
And not only that, most of the houses have cameras now. If it's not the doorbell, it's, most of
Right.
them have it.
I'm not saying doing that. What I'm saying is I'm not going to report, if somebody goes in, I'm not going to report them
Right.
for that.
Right.
What? I did say that.
We all over East Coast or East County.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slammed. Don't worry.
So how do I protect how do I protect my seller who has a compromised immune system from having so many people breaking their appointment time and coming in all gross?
Yeah.
Linda,
Linda,
you'll stand there and.
Linda, do what I did. I
Yep.
put a table, I waited, I made sure they had
One
pee,
day.
I let them people at a time, because the lady runs a daycare. And she was a renter. There was no way I could do it every day.
Right.
So, cause she'd have to take the kids out and they were there till 5:30 at night. So what was I gonna do? So that's what I did. I just, and it sucked, believe me.
What did,
There's two-
I didn't hear, Maggie, what did you do?
Yeah, so the best way to do it is to schedule 2 different days for a certain time slots that they can come in, and don't have them every 15 minutes apart. Have them every half an hour apart. And you can on the sign-in thing, you can do it where you can set the time frames where it's available.
That doesn't
Does that make
stop
sense?
people. Yeah, I just don't understand how that's going to keep people who don't have, agents who don't have an appointment coming in and taking the people who did have an appointment spot.
They have to have an appointment. You're just there to make sure they don't violate the law to have everybody in at the same time. They still have to send you the.
Oh, you're
ticket.
saying to be there?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
Okay.
Remember that the people were renters and they did a date?
Yeah, so Maggie had one where the people were renters and the tenants, and they had a daycare, so they had to specific times, and Maggie was there to kind of make sure it was all going that direction. So here's the thing, where we talked about a table there, and people legally, it has to be electronically signed. It can't be hand signed. No, I know. What I'm saying is, but that's for if you think you can sit out there and have people sign that, they can't. It's supposed to be electronically signed, which is another arbitrary thing. Also, it has
Have an
to be
iPad.
electronically signed.
It has to
What
be
the what does the
Electronically
Pete,
signed.
the Pete has
Say it
to?
again.
The Pete
The P
has
is
to?
supposed to be electronically signed. Yep.
I'm
I
turning
have
one in that's handwritten.
It's less contact.
Less contact.
That makes no, okay, well, I have a iPad, so there we go. And if you get their information, you could do DocuSign right there and there.
Yeah.
You can break the law.
Lord willing, in a few months will be passed. So anyway, let's talk about listings and that. So here we go. Listing benefits of a listing agent. You don't have listing emergencies. Less stress and pressure when you're working with buyers. Then when you're working with buyers, you don't have to spend time fighting about financing, whether they'll buy a washer 2 days before closing. And by the way, if you're working with buyers, my number one rule that I tell them is, until you close on your house, do not buy anything. Because that, can't. Yeah, can't tell you the number of times. Yeah, can't tell you the number of times where people just before closing go out and buy a new truck, or they go buy all their furniture, and then they pull the credit just before closing, and the ratio is off, and it kills the deal. So remind your buyers, once you start looking and putting offers in, especially you get into contract,
Or even refinancing.
yeah, don't buy anything. Just don't do it. So finding sellers. 58.7% of homes in the US have at least 60% equity. Again, this is all US. California, we're probably close to that now with people who've had it for a little while. 42.1% of all homes in this country are mortgage free, and that is not California. But
That's Tennessee.
yeah, but you know what? A lot of people in California are signing and going to other states, and they are, low or no mortgage. Yep. So average equity of mortgage homes is $177,000. That's an average equity, or average equity of homes is 177. So, yeah. And it's according to CoreLogic. So a lot of people have more equity in their home than they realize. Sometimes they don't understand that. But make sure when you're going through and showing them the equity that you've got, we're going to talk about in a few minutes, is that you give them kind of realistic numbers. And I would estimate high on the numbers so that they, you don't say, yeah, you've got, 400,000 equity, and then they end up with 350, and it's like, wait a minute, where'd the 50,000 go? Because you didn't remind them about commissions and closing costs and those sort of things. I'd much rather be honest and have people not do something than to, get it and then be mad because you didn't tell them. Contact past clients from 2 to 5 years ago. Prepare a price trend analysis. Put a sticky note on it and include your card. You don't have to have any past clients. Ask somebody in the office if you can do that. Now, people are no longer with the company. Again, handwritten sticky note on there. Put that on there. The other thing you can do is people that is look at their homeowners, look up their address, put a price trend analysis together. Said, hey, just was thinking about you. Put this together for you. If you've got answer any questions, let me know. Put a sticky note on that, hand deliver it, and
And if
that.
you ever go to any of Krista Mashor's classes, she says to do it for everybody in your Facebook contact list, and then she says to then look up their friends and then do an agent of theirs.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy, because how could you possibly do that? But I guess if you're teamed with somebody, then you can constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're working with a team and
especially
yeah.
if you're starting,
Yep. But again, there's simple things to do where you can go and you can talk to them or look up renters and send them a note and say, with a lender, their information of, what's doing, hey, you're paying $3,000 a month, rent right now. What could you do with that? You got contact with people down in San Jose who maybe are living down there, either renting or own. Contact them and say, hey, I don't know if you ever considered this area up here. If you can telecommute in that now, great place to live and, much better value. So, so do that with that. The other thing in your KV core, there's the anniversary section, anniversary of sale date. Go through, look up your friends and family who own homes, find out when they closed on their home. Put the anniversary thing in there, pick a hey, congratulations on the anniversary of owning your home, and send that to them. How many of their agents are recognizing, remembering, honoring some way the anniversary of when they bought their home? None.
Very many.
So if you do that, you pop that in there, and then if something comes up. So if somebody had that with mine, I bought mine new, but if they did it with mine, I'm coming up on 21 years this year that I'll live in my home come May.
Yeah.
So,
And most title companies will do it.
yeah. And it's like, wow, follow up with phone calls or texts, contact those people, from 2 to 5 years ago, put the not CMA, the price trend analysis there with a note, follow up with a phone call to them. Again, why are you hand delivering that and then phone call?
Face to face, and then make sure.
Yeah.
that they know what it is.
Contact questions. Will they call you out of 10 that you do? How many of them will call you based on that, what you left them?
One.
One or
Maybe.
one, maybe two.
Yeah.
But if you call them, how many of them will at least engage in some sort of conversation about that with you? Most of them will do that. So you want to have touches. It's a number game.
The no call rules, how does that play?
I'm assuming they're your clients. You can call your clients.
Because, but when you get extensions and that kind of thing of friends, if you're violating no call rules, you can get in serious
Oh, yeah.
reprimands.
Well, if you drop off a price trend analysis and you've got their phone number and you call them and said, hey, I dropped that off. You have any questions on that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that's, you're not trying to sell them. You're just saying, hey, I dropped that off. Just want to see if you got that and if you have any questions on it. So if they say, don't call me again, say, okay, I won't.
Yeah, I just know with robocalls, you're risky. You have to be aware that there are
Right.
some people very sensitive
Right.
to being contacted unsolicited.
Yeah. And I'm not saying robocalls. I'm just saying make a phone call.
No.
And if you're concerned about that, you use,
But you're scared. You're client,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, you use,
No, I'm not.
yeah.
I'm just making a point to be sensitive
Yeah.
about
Yep.
sensitive ground.
right.
Right.
Well, yeah, if you're, hey, when I sell your home type of a thing, yeah. But if you drop something off there and then you're following up with a phone call, say, hey, got your phone number from a friend. I dropped this off the other day,
Yeah, and if you ever did do it, or if anybody ever does do it, then in Weichert, we actually have that program where you can put in an area tell you if they're on that list.
They're on the do not call.
And
Yep.
they'll tell you when to call, when not to call.
That's
Yeah,
Yep.
you can look that up.
good, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Instagram story polls, just as simple, are you living your dream home? Yes or no? And are you, have you thoughts of selling your home in 2021, 22? If they respond, send a direct message to those who answer no to question 1 and yes to question 2. So, you can put a question in there, put that simple poll, have them respond to it, and then you can respond back to them. Okay. So it's another quick, easy, simple thing of getting some responses out there. LeadLink, just listed, just sold cards. You should be sending to 100 homes around your listings and getting those out there. And they're simple and easy to put together. You can either put it together through one of the companies, or they send you an email out saying, hey, we got this ready to go. You want us to do it? You click yes and put your credit card in, and it's
Yeah, I always do it, and I just responded to 33 different ones that I got with CMAs. for
Did
the
you?
area, Yeah.
okay.
A lot of them were, you could pull the same CMA and then just make multiple copies because they were in the same neighborhood.
Right. Same type of home, same size home and all that. Yep. Yep. So you send out how many cards?
I usually send out only 50, and it's like $30.
Okay.
And that's not a big deal, like $33.
So you had,
But this time I sent out 90 because I knew it was a hot, area.
Okay.
and things.
so you send out 90, you had 33 responses.
No, that was from a couple different ones that I did.
Okay.
Probably in that area, maybe 16. But it was so easy because then you just print the same area, the
Right.
information for the same area, which was not that bad as I thought it was going to be, like each house.
Okay.
Because it takes a lot of time.
That's a 15% return on a $35 investment.
Right. I don't know if they're going to go anywhere, but
Yep.
they know who I am now.
Yep.
No.
You're creating information. So a simple, easy thing to do gets word out there, especially now people are curious what's going on in the market.
Right.
And so if people see that it was listed at 400 and
Sold for 470.
and it sold for 470, and she's done cards out there and sends CMAs, guess what she's going to get? Phone calls, because like, holy cow, can you get me say,
In Georgia, those cards, they have a QR code. So all they're going to do is hit it with their
Yeah.
phone and we get their information.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not to them.
so what Maggie's going to get, she's got people who want to list their home for 470 and they want her to get 540 for them, like she did,
Oh, yeah.
70,000 over line last one. So
I'll have to send them, this is not normal.
yeah. Let's see, list benefit, your efforts matter the most. When you're working with buyers, you're at the mercy of everybody around you. You have to trust them to kind of stick with you and stick through things. Buyers that I'm closing with here in a couple weeks, they actually had another agent and got frustrated with that agent, so they came over to me. Sellers, you're in contract, you got a written contract, they can't just bail on you. Although from time to time that does happen. We release them because you don't win when you don't do that. So as a seller's agent, you can be assured that all of your efforts will go directly to selling that home. You may be in open houses, attending pitch sessions, you're talking to agents, all that. But you usually the end result is that you'll get that. Sometimes you can work with buyers and they get frustrated and they just say, yeah, we're done for a while. I mean, my son and daughter-in-law were looking and they just got tired of people going crazy with numbers. So they just said, yeah, we're gonna wait. So, the buyers do that. Sellers, usually if they're at that point where they're selling, unless they're carless sellers, then they want to hang in there for, prices that don't exist. Yes. That's right. Or Judy's is in contract now, so that's good. So by the way, Judy's getting shot today. I mean, she's getting her vaccine today. So that's why she's not here with us today. Time off without guilt. Okay, here's my thing I tell you though. If you've got a listing coming up for the week or two following that listing, don't have any plans, because right now you're just going to get hammered with showing requests, offers, all that sort of. It's nuts. So it's a good problem to have, but just don't plan a listing and then take 3 days off.
That's when you need that roboting.
Yes.
That's when you need that partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Unfortunately, I've already made my airplane ticket.
Yeah. Okay.
But Naomi said that if something really desperate happened, she would help me out.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
Naomi?
That's right. Finding sellers. this is where we're talking about the average equity of $177,000. You can do a Weichert estimate. They call it a Weichert equity estimate, evaluation of their estimate to estimate their home's value. So you guys know how to look on tax records to see what their last loan was that they'd gotten on the property. Go on the tax records, find out approximately what their loan was and how much they owed, and then value of the home, mortgage balance roughly, and roughly 100,000 equity. And I would just make sure if you're doing that, you're putting that information up there, that you are making sure that there's other costs and stuff there, so it wouldn't be that, it'd be a little bit less. But also in this market, there's a good chance that we could end up, getting far more than we anticipate. So you may end up with that or more. So
Is there a template of this already put together?
Say it again.
Is there a template of that already put together or no?
I don't know that there is, but when you develop that, then there will be.
Or look for it, Linda. I bet you we do have one, right?
What a great project. for
It's a great thing. We put it on Weichert and we
I
could
will
benefit
totally
the whole.
Do that. If somebody wants to come clean her face and take care of her, I will put that together. So any volunteers, you come on over.
I'll call a babysitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can bring her in. I'll take 10 minutes.
That's right. Okay, do a Facebook, Instagram Live, in front of a sold sign. Hey, it's me from Weichert Realtors. I'm standing in front of Lilac Lane. We just closed on the property. It's sold in X days at blank percentage of listing price. How are marketing negotiating skills? And people are crazy right now. Don't add that part. That was kind of my thing there. But again, a quick video out front of a listing that you've sold and got that done. Yeah, it can be a positive thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So search Zillow for sales by owners, and I'm seeing more of those popping up. There was a for sale by owner sign that I saw in this somewhere in Oakley this last week. That somebody had a sign out, for sale by owner. So you can search those. Again, I don't think people understand fully what they're getting themselves into when they try to do a for sale by owner. They're trying to save money. All the statistics say that they end up getting far less even after commissions than if they use an agent.
Yeah, I have that guy right now that I'm writing up the property, and he already knows the trouble he can get into. He wants to go through the whole process, everything, because he knows. He has a bunch of properties.
Yep.
And I think he probably got in trouble before.
Yep. So to find FSBOs for sale by owners on there, on the homepage, click the for sale button, then select for sale. And then for sale and the down arrow only, and then select for sale by owner there. So you can do that, see what's on there. You see on there for sale and then for sale by owner, and it'll pull up a list of those. And I don't know how many there are in our area. Last time I checked, there was like 3 of them that were up, but they're a good source to go to and talk to and help them to understand what they're doing. And then it'll tell you when you pull up the listing, how many days it's been on Zillow, how many views they've had, and those sort of things. And if you see a long time frame, that's a good time to go talk to them and say, okay, why isn't your home selling? What's going on? So let's see. Listing benefits, you always get paid. Try not to give away too much to try to get the deal done and negotiating and that. But when you're a listing agent, somebody brings a buyer in, you get paid. A lot of times you work with buyers and work for free. Matter of fact, that's my pitch with buyers. So how much did it cost for you to work with us? I said, I work for free. Then I tell them, but when you go sell your house, I'm no longer free. Free buyer leads, which is really true. I had 2 pretty solid ones on this Hayward house that I did not work well. There's probably some other ones in there. There was so much going on at that time that I couldn't work it as well as I should have. But you get the listing, always get 1 or 2 or more really good buyer leads, people that are doing that. And the job is, if that house doesn't work for them, to really work towards helping them show your value of how you can help them on a different property. Again, set them up on a drip system, have them go to your website, teach them how to do that. and all that. Embrace networking, goes hand in hand with your building your sphere of influence. Network. What I need to do is I need to have Emil put together a 30-minute seminar on networking, because Emil is the master of networking. You just network.
It's called a bar.
I call it BSing. Yeah. Start at the bar.
You're not a cafe like
So, but Emil does a really good job of networking and talking to people, and he's got a very, Emil's not a salesperson. He's a conversationalist. He's a talker.
That is a salesperson.
Yeah. But he's not a hard sale. He gets out there and he talks to people. And so, embrace networking, get out and talk to people, be where people are.
Well, I will say that you build relationships, money follows. Don't build money and hope that relationships.
Correct.
It does not work.
Nope. Build relationships. Yep.
Speaking of which, hello, would you like to buy?
You could do a virtual seller seminar on social media. Invite your sphere of influence, past customers, clients, social media fields, and just kind of do an update on the market, what's going on there, but a virtual seller seminar. So those are just some ideas of things that you can do. Buyers are out there. You need to tweak until you find out how to attract those buyers, how to deal with those, where people are itching, how to, maybe that's walking neighborhoods, knocking on doors, dropping off price trend analysis. Maybe it's posting on social media. Maybe it's making phone calls. Maybe it's making texts. Maybe it's doing the thing where you make a phone call, but it goes straight to voicemail and leave a message there. There's a ton of ways to do it. I'm not saying which is best for you. You have to tweak that and keep doing that. But again, give it a fair shake. Give it a fair shot. Don't just say, well, I tried it. I made 3 phone calls and nothing happened. So again, the guy from Las Vegas, he was making 100 to 200 phone calls a day. And again, he was using the robocall thing.
Right, and what did you tell him when we went to the seminar? The Weichert seminar? You asked him a question, remember?
Oh, I said, do you really make somebody asked it when we were in Las Vegas at the conference, if you really make 100 phone calls a day. He says, no, sometimes I make more because I haven't got enough appointments set. So,
that's dedication.
yeah. So again, it's low market, it's low inventory, it's not no inventory. We need to continue to get out there, tweak to find those sellers. People are wanting to sell. I think in our area, I think there's a lot of people that are wanting to sell. They're just trying to line things up for jobs when they're going. So,
right, or they don't know what to do between the transition.
Correct.
I get a lot of that, like, well, how do I buy another house? Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
So-
that's a big one to really know inside and out and be able to have a conversation about.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what the people say, well, if I sell, I want to buy something, but I want to downsize, but I don't want to, what do I,
Right.
how do I make that work? So that's where you can talk to them about either finding a short-term rental or living with family, if that'll work, or contingent offers that,
Right. That's what they don't understand.
yeah.
Is contingent.
contingent on, finding a replacement property to sell theirs. They're afraid of being homeless. They don't understand the process and the system. So helping them to understand those things, that's where you guys come along as trusted advisors to help with that. So that's where we'll stop that there. We're meeting again on not this Friday, but a following Friday for our Foundations Friday. Any questions people have? Let you guys.
No, but we have two coming up coming soon. So if you guys have buyers,
Okay.
we have one in Pittsburgh, a 4.2, 4.30,